Okay, this is day 2 of probability. Day 2. First up, probability that there's going to be sausage on the pizza. You win if it's this or this. What do we do with ors? You add them. So you'd add those two together. You get 24.24. If you could not have sausage, like it's given, there's no sausage, you immediately go like this so that you don't by accident grab one of those numbers later. Then, if I said, what's the probability that there's going to be pepperoni? It seems like it should be 100%. Because there's no sausage, it must be pepperoni. But it isn't. Because these two are still possible, so you put those together, and those go on the bottom. 0.76 on the bottom. And then what you want to know is what's the probability of pepperoni? Pepperoni goes on top then. 0.05 divided by 0.76. Raise your hand if you agreed with that one. Okay, good. So let's move on to, that was a reminder of a simple 2-circle Venn diagram. We're moving to 3 circles eventually, but let's remind you what these mean. Union, to me, looks like somebody standing with their arms like wide open, like inviting everybody to come in. It's a big group. Okay, is that an and or an or? It's or. And or means I win if it's this or this or this. So or means all of those. Okay? Areas 1, 2, and 3. That is the opposite of that. So that must mean and. And if it means and, it seems like it should be this and this and this. You got to fight that. It's the opposite of that. And is you have to be A and B, so it's only that one. Ands are small answers. Ors are big answers. Okay. And the complement, we've never discussed that before. Complement is everything that's not that. So like if I said, what's the complement? A to the little exponent C, that means the complement of A. A is this and this. The complement of A is everything that's not that and that. Okay, or in other words, 1 minus those things. Because you know these all add up to 1, right? If this and this and this and this probability were all added together, they all add up to 1. So if I want A, C, I would take 1 minus whatever the probability of A is. So if probability of A was like, let's say it was 0.3 there and 0.2 there, means this is total of 50%, then I'd take 1 minus that if it's not A. Okay, moving on. Susie has a math quiz and a French quiz on the same day. These are the hardest part that we test you on, and that is making Venn diagrams. It's not so bad if they give you one. They're pretty easy. It's making them that's hard. And last night you had to make 1 or 2 in your homework, and that's the hard part. Let me tell you what I always think is the key to Venn diagrams, the middle. If you get the middle number, you can get all the other numbers pretty easily. So we really want to try to find the middle. That's the place where math and French overlap. Whoever is taking math and French is in there. Okay, so the probability she gets an A on her math quiz is 0.85. I recommend you not put 0.85 in here because that would imply that these aren't included in that. I would put 0.85 next to the math because it's this and this together. This is the most common mistake people make, is they'll just slap that first number into this spot and they forget that this and this together have to make 85. So you can't just put it in the chart. You can put it next to math, though. The probability she gets an A on her French quiz is 0.9. 90% chance of French quiz. So that means, again, this plus this together make 90%. Okay. The probability she gets an A on both is 0.8. Ah, they gave me the middle. Both of them, right? If they gave me this, now it's easy. You go, okay, together the math ones must be 85. That's got to be 5. Together the French ones have to make 90. That must be 10. And then this plus this plus this plus that have to add up to 100%. So I've already got 80 plus 10 plus 5 is 95%. That leaves 5% for that. All right, steps. number one step. You take what they tell you for math and you don't put it into the chart. You put it up here. You take what they tell you for French, you put it next to French. Then you find the middle area next. The middle area is right here. Once you've got that middle area where they overlap, then from there it's easy to do subtractions to find these two, and then you get this last. Okay? Now, if we actually have all the numbers in here, which again was, I better replace them, sadly. Here, I'll just hit backwards. There we go. There. Now I can answer the question. What's the probability she gets an A on her math or French quiz? Ooh, or. Does or mean a big answer or a small answer? Big answer. So what do you think? 95. Add up 3 in the middle. It's 0.95. Okay. This one, I would like you to figure out the probabilities for each of those things. So you're making a probability Venn. For instance, that's 0.05. You know what? I don't understand this slide. I'm going to try to make sure I understand it first. What's the probability she does not get an A on her French quiz? I don't understand why all the numbers are blocked out here. We can just add them right here. 5, 80, 10, 5. I guess I'm just going to reveal them. There we go. Okay. We already knew those numbers. So now, what's the probability she does not get an A on her French quiz? What do you think it is? Turn and show the other kid that I paired you with today. See if you agree with them. I'll pause while you do that. Okay, I hope you were thinking, okay, can't be an A on the French quiz, cross off, cross off. Now that is technically called the complement to A, which is everything that's not A. So that would be this and this. Okay, so we put them together, 10% chance. Raise your hand if you said 10% chance. Okay, good. Let's get to the triple Venns, because I think we're getting, stuff is getting too easy. A union B. Now, look at A, B, and C. This is like, you like dogs, you like cats, and you prefer, I don't know, hedgehogs. I like that. I haven't used that one in a long time. Okay, so this is like dogs, and this is cats, and this is hedgehogs. Actually, C should be cats. That doesn't make sense. C will be cats. These will be hedgehogs. Okay. If you're going to pick a pet, we have all these different numbers, and of course, these are people that can't or would not want any of the above. Okay. Area 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now, let's just actually say that that is the number of people that are in each little area. There's 5 people that would pick, I like all of them. I'd be happy with any one of them or all of them. Okay? A union B, remember it means A or B. Or is the big answer. Here's A, here's B, and all of them together, if you added up all of those numbers, that would be your answer. Or is there a big answer? That intersection thing is like the opposite of that. A intersect B. Think of the intersection of 2 roads. You got this road going this way, that road going that way. It's where they intersect. So A intersects C. Sorry, I think I read that wrong. A intersects. I'm really confused. I think they meant A and C right there. I know that that's a mistake in the key or in the smartboard. Okay, so A intersects C. So here's A, here's C. Where do they intersect? 4 and 5. Raise your hand if you knew it was 4 and 5. Okay, good. That's not too tough. How about not A? All I like to do on that, cross off all of these, and it's everything else. Simple as that. Only C. All of those can't be this, 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 or this. It's the most powerful to just cross things off when you don't aren't supposed to use them. Yes? Ooh, you got a point. Thank you. This has some A. So does this. And this has some B. And if it's only C, it should just be the 7. Thank you. You're right. Good catch. All right. Example 2. A survey has been taken to see what newspapers people read. The result of 125 respondents is shown below. Let's make this A and this B, and the bottom one is C. Everybody please label that, because otherwise your charts are going to be really confusing to compare with the other kids. Remember me saying what the most important area is? Where they all overlap. This spot right here. And hopefully they'll tell us that, because if they don't, it's really hard to figure it out. Okay. And if they tell me that 60 read newspaper A, do not go put a 60 here. Totally wrong. If 60 read A, put a 60 here. And you know all 4 of those lines, here, 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 and here, have to add up to 60. You don't know where to put the 60 right away. That's what makes these a challenge. All right. So all I want you to do when you're all done is make sure, one more thing. 125 goes here. Make sure that all your blanks answer each thing, like 75 people better read newspaper C. If this doesn't add up to 75, all of these guys, then you're doing something wrong. And then make sure that the total is 125. Do that last. See if you can get all the numbers straight for this. It's like a little logic puzzle. And once you got the middle one, everything can kind of flow from there. All right. I will pause while you give this one a shot. Here we go. I'm going to ask kids 4 different spots. Miss B in the back row, what is the most important spot of them all? What? What's the most important spot of them all? The middle one, and it is 15. All right, so once we know that's 15, do I just instantly know everything else? No. But I know that there's a total of 60 in all these spots, and I know the middle one's 15. All right, one little thing at a time. Next, 22 read A and B. Now, a lot of kids make this mistake and put a 22 right there. I get how they think that. But it's 22 for A and B, and where do A and B overlap? Both of these add up to 22. So that's not a 22. That must be a 7. So that 15 plus 7 makes a total of 22. Do you get what I'm talking about? All right. And 35 read A and C. So these two together make a total of 35. That must mean this is 20. Because 20 plus 15 would make 35. And then 28 read B and C. This is B and C. 28 total for that. So therefore, is that an 8? Wait a minute. Oh, 13. Thank you. I was doing my math wrong in my head. All right, I'm almost done now. Now I just use those original numbers. A is 60. 50 is B. And 75 is C. Now I can use that and say these all together make 50. And therefore, that's 35 already, so that means 15 left. Would you help me with this? What's this spot in A? 18. What's this spot in C? 27. And then that makes a grand total of 225? No. A total of 225 has to include this spot. And what did you come up with for the other spot? 10. All right, awesome. As long as all of those add up to 125, and each little area adds up to what it's supposed to, then you're doing it right. They're little logic puzzles. Okay. And it seemed like you guys understood that really well. So, again, final answers should have been these. Would you agree, or is there a mistake in my key? Because every now and then there is. They look right? Okay, good. All right, moving on. That turns it into a what Venn? probability Venn. All I did is take those and divide by what? 125, because the total was 125. They don't have that. I wish they did. I like having that right here in the upper corner. Okay, and then you just take every number divided by 125 and you get that. So then, if that's the case, what's the probability of A only? Now that's important. Not A. That'd be different. A only. There we go. Did you say 144? Okay. Now let's get into some where they actually say given. Okay. Now this, I don't like this way of doing it, and I'm pretty sure that we don't have anything on the test with it. It's hard for me to tell from this whether it's given paper A that it's paper B, or given paper B, is it paper A? I believe that this symbol is supposed to be on this, but I'm not sure if the teacher did it that way or if they did it the other way. So we can find out. I'd like to figure out the answer both ways. So let's do the given, let's say assume for a moment that it's given paper A. What does that mean? That means that only paper A is an option. Do you get that I'm going to cross off all of these then? Now what's the probability of paper B? Okay, if we do it that way, given A, the probability of B, then B is these two, and I can add those together in my head. 0.176, but it's only out of all of them added up, which is going to be 220. What's the grand total of all of these, please? 48. Can anybody verify that? Oh, got some people getting different answers. No? Anybody else verify? That's 48? You added them up? Okay, there's a bunch of people. All right. Then, if I divide these two, that would be given A. Would somebody divide those two? Who's got it? Divided those two. Mr. S in the front row, what'd you have? 3636. Can anybody verify that? 0.36 repeating. Okay. I get it, how that's hard to say. I'm still not sure the right way to say that. Okay. 0.3 with a 6 repeating. How about that? Okay. Anybody verify that? Okay, good. Then, now let's do it the other way around. Given B, what's the probability of A? Totally different problem. All of you figure out that. Given B, what's the probability of A? It'll be a different answer. Then we'll see which this teacher thinks that means. Do they think the symbol means given B, or do they think the symbol means given A? So we are doing given B right now. Take a moment. Remember, you're adding up all things that are possible and putting them on the bottom. If we're given that it's B, that tells you what's possible. What did you get for the adding them all up? 0.4 on the bottom. I agree with you. And then for the top is paper A, which is given it's paper B is the only one we can pick from. I'm crossing all these off to make sure I don't by accident use one. If we're given that it's B, then paper A is these two. So you should have said 176 on the top. And it's going to be a slightly different answer than before, because we did 176 over 48. Now it's 176 over 0.40. And who's got that answer? 44? Anybody verify that? All right, good. Then let's see the big reveal. All right. So this teacher reads this as given paper B. Okay? Just for, I'm going to go with that because obviously the rest of the smartboard is going to be written that way. Okay? So given paper B, and it does make some sense because if this means the word given, it's the way we read, we usually take given and the thing after it is what's given, right? Given paper B. All right. So this one, obviously this one means given with this line like this, paper A. Notice it says and. Got to be careful with your ands and your ors. Try this one. When you're done, would you compare this with your partner for today and see if they're getting the same thing? If they're not, ask them what numbers they divided. Pause while you try that. So, did you get .250? Raise your hand if you did. Okay, then that's a good sign. Obviously, let's get to the homework for this 12.3b worksheet. I'm sure some of you have already started. Let's see if size is like and stuff. I'll pause for a second to do that. All right, Mr. W in the front row. What's given here? And if it's given paper A, then only these are possible. Raise your hand if you were doing the same thing. Good. Then what do I do with those things I circled? And what did you get when you added them all up? Okay. 0.48. Sounds like a couple people had that. I'm guessing that's probably right. I'm seeing lots of nods. Okay, good. Then the last thing is Miss B, left side of the room, my left. B and C. How do I do that? B and C. Here's where B and C overlap. Is that what you want? So should I add the 0.12 with the 0.104? No. Because why shouldn't I include that 104? Because it's what? Because it's not in A, or it's not possible. We crossed it off because it was not possible. She could have handled that by herself. Okay. And the final answer then is 0.12 over 0.48, which should come out to 0.250. Raise your hand if you had that one right. Okay, good. And I don't think we need to do that. It's getting extra complicated. I want you, for your homework, to do everything except problem 2. If you notice, problem 2 in your homework has a whole bunch of parts. I'm saving you a lot of time. But I think if you need to practice, you should be mature enough to know, you know what, I've been getting a C on the last couple tests. I better do this for practice. But if you're okay, if you've been on track, you may skip problem 2 today. It'll save you a bunch of time. Okay? Your assignment is everything except problem 2 on this worksheet. And a question before we leave. Yes? Oh, if it's 0.250 versus 0.25, I'm fine with either one. It is a little better because they're going to say round to 3 decimal places, but I would not mark it wrong. If you said even if it said 3 decimal places and you said 0.25, I still wouldn't mark it wrong. It just makes it clear that they went to 3 decimal places. That's all. Okay, and that's all I got for you for today.